Get ready for it. Inside Today brings you issues relating to family, peer pressure, drugs, substance abuse, societal and topical issues making rounds. Join Jumain Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday and it repeats every Friday. Time 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Don't miss out.
The family, as we all know, plays a crucial role in sustaining a nation's independence. Now, by instilling values, traditions, and a sense of identity in its members. Strong family units promote social cohesion, which is essential for national unity. Now, family teach children about civic responsibilities, respect for laws, and the importance of contributing to society, which in some sense fosters active citizenship. Moreover, families are often the first source of education and contact and moral guidance, shaping individuals who are capable of making informed decisions that benefit the community and the nation. By nurturing values such as resilience, cooperation, and empathy, the family helps build a society that can withstand challenges and work together towards common goals. Now, ultimately, a strong family foundation contributes to a stable and independent nation. Hello and welcome to Inside Today. I am Jumai Manson. Today on the program, I'll be discussing the role of family value in sustaining independence. Do not go anywhere. The program continues shortly. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, it's Inside Today on Global Television. And like I mentioned, it's a very simple factor talking about the family and the crucial role in sustaining nation's independence by instilling values, tradition, and a sense of identity in its member, and especially children. Now, this is a topic of discussion that is not always found in the home front. Now, if I may ask, when was the last time you taught or you mentioned independence to your word? Now, how can parents teach their children about the importance and values attached to nation's independence as a citizen and also as a family unit? Now, this question comes back to back. It is only when we are celebrating a year in Nigeria that you remember independence. Isn't that so? For many families, they find it really hard to sit down and communicate with their children, explaining to them the importance of how independence came about. Many families find it weird and leave it in the hands of schools, teachers, and the educational sector. Many families do not sit down as a unit to describe why it's important, why colonialism came into place, our colonial masters, talking about how we gained independence. And hey, how many times do you talk about how old Nigeria is? Now, that is food for thought. Now, looking at the importance in the school education system, many a times it is only when we celebrate a particular date of the birthday of Nigeria that the education system, we hear of march paths, the parade that takes place, and all of that. Now, this system is made to help the children imbibe patriotism and the importance of the nation's independence. Now, patriotism is key. A lot of people will tell you, say some things that are not really nice when it comes to our dear country. Now, we all know that independence play a very pivotal role in the lives of our children. Patriotism is key. As a Nigerian, as a child in Nigeria, born in Nigeria, raised in Nigeria, you should understand that patriotism is key. One of the most things you should know, and as a parent, teaching a child and inculcating and imbibing these acts goes a long way to understand that to stand firm as a Nigerian, to portray what you believe in as a Nigerian. Now, some of the important roles parents are to play as role models to their children in the celebration of their independence is that you show your own side. For instance, a lot of people will wear the green, white, green, showing that, hey, I'm a Nigerian, you should be proud of where you are from. Now, many families will say, oh, Jumai, what is there to celebrate? The economic hardship. it will always never be like this. Things will get better. So it's important that you show a role model by showing that integrity is key, and also knowing that, hey, it is independence, it's worth celebrating. All right, now let's quickly go on a very quick break. The program continues shortly. Stay tuned.
Get ready for it. Inside Today brings you issues relating to family, peer pressure, drugs, substance abuse, societal and topical issues making rounds. Join Jumaine Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday, and it repeats every Friday. Time 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Don't miss out.
Welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Inside Today on Global Television. And like I said, we are looking at a very, very sensitive issue, and it is the role of family value in sustaining independence. And well, my co-host, not really my co-host, my colleague just walked in, and he says, "Hey Jay, let me just join in this conversation." And no other person than Ramsey Agbo Enoch. How you doing?
I'm fine. What an interesting topic. As soon as I heard about what you wanted to talk about, I say, hey, come on. Will I be left out of this show?
No, not at all. Now, I want to put you in the spot, Ramsey. Like, seriously, I need to put you in the spot. I know you have kids. I know you're a parent.
Sure.
Now, talking about the independence, we know that Nigeria is 64 years old, and we're all happy, we're excited, despite the hurdles. It's okay, it's all right. But when did you discuss this with your children? Do they understand what independence is all about? I know they're still very young, but have you told them, hey, this is independence, this is what it means, this is what it entails, and all of that? Have you done that?
What my daughter did yesterday after I left office and I got home, they didn't go to school yesterday because it was a public holiday.
Yes, it was.
So as soon as she welcomed me, she jumped at me and was like, today is independence, we didn't go to school. I was trying to be inquisitive. What do you know about independence?
Exactly.
She was saying what she knows about independence in her own way, and I was like, whoa, that's good. Then come to talk about it. There was something I posted on my status yesterday that I posted a picture of my wife, and I said, this is the woman that gave me independence some years ago.
Well, that's funny. Really.
Yeah, that gave me independence, redeeming me, as a person, from bachelorhood.
Okay, now I get it.
That's the independence now.
Yeah, that's independent. It's worth celebrating. Now let's look at the child aspect now when it comes to independence. Now, in what ways can we say independence contribute to a child's self-esteem and confidence? Of course, they understand what it means that Nigeria actually gained independence and all of that. We're on our own. We're not under the wings of colonial masters who came into being and all of that. Now we have independence. Now, how can that work entwine with a child's self-esteem and, of course, confidence in which they should have and possess?
First first of all, we need to look at the meaning of independence. Independence, the layman's understanding of independence is freedom.
Of course.
I am now free. Oh, I'm not under some form of restrictions anymore. I'm not under some form of tutorship anymore. At least I can do one or two myself.
By myself.
By myself. Coming to your questions now, as it is, first of all, the pride, okay, of independence is when you know, okay, now as a Nigerian and as a Nigerian child, I am now independent. Having been told of what Nigeria went through and the reason, the struggle for independence and nations, because children of nowadays, we're in the 21st century, in a digital age, where children go ahead to know more than what some of the parents even know. And then you come to look at what is happening to some nations that are trying to come out of certain dictatorship sort of, okay, some form of bondage as they may call it. Then you begin to liken it to Nigeria now that is free, and you as a Nigerian child, you know that this freedom, I think what the children are even thinking about right now is Nigeria is free. Nigeria has independence.
Exactly.
Daddy, when am I going to have independence?
Really?
When am I going to be able to do one or two myself? But then I think Nigerian children should be very, very proud of the fact that Nigeria has independence. Then one other thing that is key as far as independence is concerned is the fact that Nigeria is 64. And the children will be thinking, what do you mean when you say Nigeria is 64? Then you begin to take them to 1960. Then the intelligent ones will start asking questions.
Exactly.
So where are we after 64? Because sometimes it's not all about the independence, but what you make out of this independence.
Exactly.
Because when you say I want to be independent and then you're being given the independence, then you are still depending on the people you say you want to come out of, you know, and you begin to take it back to the home because we're talking about the family here. Then you begin to take it back to the house. Then the children begin to think about independence. Then preparing a child for independence start from at a tender age. When they begin to understand one or two things, you begin to let them know the importance of independence, because a lot of children who don't know what independence is, they will want to, mommy, I'm a child now, I should be driving now.
Exactly.
I should be driving now. At my age, I should be driving. I should be independent. You should be giving me the key, you know.
Exactly.
You should even buy me a car, some of them.
Really?
But they don't know the responsibility that comes with these things.
Exactly.
So these are some of the things that we should be opening the eyes of our children to when it comes to independence.
Yeah. Now let's look at our fathers that came into being and decided to take the bull by the horn to, you know, when independence started. That decision that was made at that point, in order for us to understand that independence is just the way forward, we needed that. It was very, very important. Now, why is it important for children to learn decision making early in life?
Well, it's very important for children to learn decision making, because whatever you are today is the product of the decisions you made yesterday. So the decisions you make yesterday or today have the right to either make you or mar you.
Yes.
And that is why it is very, very sensitive when it comes to decision making. And helping children know how to make decisions on time is very vital, because one, you are the parent, you are the immediate parent. Like I tell my kids, anyone that's older than you, the most important thing is knowing how to filter the right from the wrong, because a lot of people are going to do so many things, and these things have a way of influencing your decision either at home or outside the home, because your parents will not be with you all the time.
True.
And when you want to talk about decision making, is all encompassing. You make decision at instances. There are some things that happens, and before you know, within a twinkle of an eye. That decision, that yes or no that you have to say is decision, and you have to be in between either to say yes or to say no. It depends on how you're being taught, the importance of decision making that helps you, okay, make certain decisions that are very vital and valid. So it's very important to help children know how to make decisions on time, okay, because I don't know whether if I should call it over pampering. Sometimes, you know, there's a thin line, okay, between you over pampering your kids and helping them to make the right decision.
Exactly.
Okay, because sometimes some decisions are very critical.
Yes, they are.
And sometimes it may not be in favor of the child. But then, as a parent, you need to sit down, break it down, let them know why it is important for that decision to be taken. At that point, you were the one that helped them take that decision, but it has been registered in them that this is the right decision to make in situations like this. And the moment it gets registered, whether you are there or not, they will be able to make decisions when such situations arises. It may not be same situation, but things that are close to that similar to that same situation, they should be able to make decisions quickly. Why? Because you already gave them a roadmap and how decisions are being made. And one very important thing that I must say before I end this the answer to this question.
I don't understand. Are you the one anchoring the program? I will tell you when you're going to. Are you kidding me right now?
No. The question I'm answering, I wanted finishing the question. I'll finish answering the question. Okay. So before I finish answering this question, I must say this, that any decision you want to make children, okay, you want to expose them to today, you should let them know that some decisions have both negative and positive
and there's some
impacts.
Tough decisions also.
Some are very tough. You need to let them know that these decisions are tough, but it's worth taking.
Yes, I like that, Ramsey. I really like that. Now let us try and create a balance between making a decision, quick decision making, and of course owning up to responsibility at the same time. Do they work hand in hand, or they're different from themselves?
Well, decision making, okay, and responsibility.
Yes.
A thin line between the two, because you are the one that makes the decision. Whatever comes out of it, you should be able to gallantly accept the responsibility that comes with your decision. Because for every decision, I tell people, the decisions you're taking today, if you make any decision today and you take that decision, whatever comes out of it, you should be able to beat your chest and stand that decision. And that's the reason I said every decision comes with positive and negative impact, as the case may be. So any decision you want to make today, you should be able to know that as a child, okay, this decision, and the parents need to inculcate this, because if you're showing them just the positive sides alone, when the negative side comes, they fall. And that's not a good one. So you should also make them know that every decision you make today have a responsibility attached to it.
Exactly.
Meaning, as it is, if you are being given a responsibility, you should know that you mustn't run away from accountability.
Very true.
Because for everything you're given, you made this decision, responsibilities came with it. Then you should be able to know that, yes, I will be held accountable for this decision, and that is where the responsibility comes in. Okay, if you know that, yes, this decision is mine and I'm going to be held accountable, so whatever I need to do here, I should know that there is a responsibility that comes with this decision. So as it is, decision making, accountability, and responsibility.
Very important. I like that. That is well said. Now let's look at encouraging independence. How can that help develop social skills and build relationship?
Encouraging independence is very, very important, because it helps in building skills. And when we talk about skills, it's relative. And as a matter of fact, when they said this person is independent, okay, you should be mentally okay. You should be mentally you should be at alert mentally. Okay, mentally, because number one, if you're independent, okay, what will come out of this independence? All right, your skill, putting your skill together, because a lot of people, let me tell you something, there's this saying that jack of all trade and master of all. I disagree with that.
Okay.
Because when you are when you're not concentrated, when your attention is not in one thing,
divided.
In fact, you become a professional in a particular thing when you give it more time. By the time you do this, they talk about, okay, I'm independent, at least, let me do this, and decision still comes in, and responsibility still comes in, and let me do this, you're doing this. At the end of the day, you won't be able to master anyone. You can do this to an extent, you can do this to an extent, but there's a level you cannot get to with that skill, despite the fact that you are independent. You were the one that made the choice yourself.
Exactly.
But then owning it, own it. It's one thing to own a skill.
Very true.
You understand? So if you're independent and you want to match it up with a skill because you're independent, you should know that this thing that I want to go into, I want to give it 100%.
100%.
Because it makes you more professional in it.
Professional, and I like that. And thank you so much, Ramsey Agbo Enoch, for being a part of Insight Today. Amazing. But that is much that we can take.
Oh my God, time is up.
Time is up. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. Like you said, something really vital. Mental state is important, and parents, you have to be a role model to your children for them to understand independence. Now, in conclusion, the role of family values in sustaining a nation's independence is paramount. Now, family serves as the fundamental unit of society where individuals learn essential values such as responsibility, respect, and cooperation. Now, by fostering a strong sense of identity and community, families contribute to social cohesion, which is vital for national unity. Thank you all so much for being a part of Insight Today. Ramsey, thank you so much for being here.
It's a privilege having me.
And I am Jumai Manson. Have an amazing day ahead. Bye-bye.